have 5 boys, all doing remote learning. My oldest is 14. He's a 9th grader. My next one is 9 and 7. And then I have twins that are 4. The twins are very, very social and very active. Oh, they're so much fun. They have 3 older brothers they're always trying to keep up with. They love being outside. They're climbers and they love building Legos, blocks, Lincoln Logs, you name it. They like to do stuff like that.
They're with my bottle. They're where my bowl is.
The twins are both on an IEP. They both qualify for speech. The expressive language has been a problem. Since they were 2 years old, we've had them in speech therapy. Probably Olson, I only understand him 50 or 60% of the time. The rest is a guessing game. Hudson, I can understand about 85% of the time. Up until pandemic, we weren't really screen people. We didn't let our kids onto the iPads or gaming devices. Maybe they'd get a half hour on the Wii. They weren't used to sitting in front of a screen and an iPad. That's been a real difficult thing because they want to be outside playing. And so sometimes it's really tough to get them to sit. So mostly my day is herding kids to a computer or an iPad. You've got to get on. It's 8:30. You've got to get on. And I'm just managing everybody's time. And the logistics of where to put your kids during remote learning has been really hard. But we've found that the best thing that worked for us is not to put them in their bedrooms. I can't see what they're doing, especially my 4 youngest. I think they wouldn't do it.
There's Hudson.
Miss Katie, is Guatemala, is it close? You just say where we live, or is it?
There's my 2nd grader. 4th grader. 9th grader. And here's Olson. Hey, are you paying attention?
The twins do speech in my bedroom because they have to really be able to focus. But mostly we have our kids in the open area where I spend a lot of my day. I'm either in the kitchen or I'm in the living room. I like to be able to hear the ones that I need to help, and I can look up and see that they've left their computer. That's the hardest. And then I got to go get them and bring them back. But we found it best to have them in that open area, headphones for the older kids. And then I'm just sitting right next to the younger kids. My 2nd grader struggles with sitting at the computer. So a lot of my day, if I'm not helping the preschoolers, is sitting right there with my 2nd grader. A regular preschool day for us starts at 8. So we have speech at 8, a minimum of 15 minutes for speech. Then Olson is in Miss Tara's class and Hudson is in Miss Brittany's class. Hudson has small group at 8:30. Then Olson has small group at 9. Then they both have whole group at 9:30. So that one I have to be kind of dodging back and forth. 15 minutes of the Waterford app. You do about 15 minutes per day. It's just a lot of really interactive language. And then at least 15-20 minutes in Epic. It's another app for reading. They can pick whatever story they want and read to me, and it will read to the kids and flip the page. And there's a whole bunch of different topics, race cars, animals, planets, and they love it. A couple activities on Seesaw, maybe one activity per day on Seesaw, which takes 10, 15 minutes depending on the activity. And honestly, sometimes we're doing those over the weekend when I have less kids doing school. And then with all your little breaks in between and trying to manage our day is all day long. So it's tough. And it was tougher at the beginning of the year because the twins didn't know their teachers. They'd never met them before. And here we are with a stranger on a screen. That was really hard. But both of them are wonderful teachers. They're so engaging. They have really great inflection with their voices and have really great ways of sharing their stories. They speak to every preschool student that logs in. They'll say, "Oh, good morning, Olson," and they'll ask him something about his day. So I feel like the twins feel that they have someone to talk to, and they will say things they know they like. Olson loves horses, and he'll sometimes have his little stuffed horse with him at class, and they always say hi to his horse. They're just really sweet like that. They show a little class schedule, and they say, okay, first we're going to see who's here, and then we're going to read a story, and then we're going to sing a song, then we're going to say goodbye. So I feel like the twins know, and they'll tell me, oh, Mom, we have a song next. And I love the green screen. I thought that was brilliant. It just makes it more interesting, kind of magical for little 4-year-olds, I think. It just really makes it interactive for the kids. And then having these activities, take out your letters. And so we have the letters in front of us. Take out your journal, and we have the journal here. And so it's like they're in the classroom. So I do feel like my twins, for that half hour of small group, and then they have a little break, and for that half hour of whole group, are for the most part able to keep their attention on that screen with the activities that they do. The teachers have a background in special education, which I was very pleased about. When I've told her some of my concerns with trying to get them to sit at the computer, they came right back with some suggestions. Maybe get some Play-Doh out, or they sent the schedule home so that we could look at it and say, Mom, we got dressed, we brushed our teeth, now we go to school, and so things like that have been super helpful. I would recommend these preschool teachers to anyone. In fact, some of my friends that have younger kids, I say, are you putting them in 9 next year? You better. So I love them. Wish they could move up with us to kindergarten. I was really bummed that we were not able to send the kids to school. So I worried about this year, especially speech. I feel like this is our last shot. And then next year they'll be in kindergarten, and things get more intense after that. And so we're doing the best we can. And their speech pathologist, Mr. Josh Pagayo, he meets with each twin separately, 15 minutes every other day.
But we've also tried them together.
I have to sit there the whole time with them because I have to try to help keep them focused on Mr. Josh on the screen. But at the same time, it's good for me to be in that speech session. Whereas if before they're doing speech at school and I'm not sure how to practice it. So it's been eye-opening for me. Right now, they're both working on their S sounds. Olsen cannot do an S very well at all at the beginning of any word or in his name. So he really struggles with the S. So we've been working on that for a couple weeks, and I think it'll probably take a long time to get that. I mean, I can see what Mr. Josh is trying to do. Like he's practicing the S sound.
L1. No, it's not. A toy. A toy.
There you go. It's a star. You're awesome. Good job, Hudson. Very good. Hudson, Olsen, good job with your S sound. Very, very good.
But that 15 minutes per day with somebody on a screen is not going to do any good unless we're practicing it all day long. And so it does fall back on our shoulders, and it can be hard. But Mr. Josh, he's been really awesome. He has sent home activities for us to do and for us to practice with the twins. And I've told all of the boys, when you talk to them, if they don't say their S sound, like in spot, do this activity. And so my older kids will try to help out too. But we're really grateful for the stuff that Mr. Josh has sent home for us to do. My kids got to go to hybrid for 4 weeks before they shut us back down again. And my decision to send them to hybrid when they got the opportunity was, number one, Olsen and Hudson really needed speech therapy. I was hoping that the speech pathologist could see them in person. And number two, it would give them the opportunity to speak to other people, maybe a classmate, their teacher. I think when they're home and they're speaking to me all the time, things slip because I might understand some of their language where another person, they have to try a little bit harder. And so I really wanted them to socialize with other people and maybe try to produce those sounds better. And I didn't ask for them to be separated in classes, but I think it's been really good, especially that hybrid, because it forced them to play with another kid or talk to other kids. And I think that's a really good skill for the boys, especially with their speech issues. And so I really wanted that growth. And I do feel like we got it in that 4 weeks. They made a friend. Olsen will tell me, Cooper's in my class, and he knows that that's his friend. Otherwise, they just wouldn't have that connection. And I want my kids to have a connection with their teachers. I feel like they'll try harder if they have a personal connection with them. When we came back out of hybrid, meeting them face to face, their teachers, has made a huge difference, opening up that screen and seeing somebody that they've met and knew from school. And it made a huge difference with speech too. I felt like just having that little connection was really great. And really those 4 weeks in hybrid, they came back and were able to write their name. And I was very impressed and very happy about that. And I credit that to the teachers. And so I loved it. I loved having them in their preschool. They loved going. I'd tell them they had preschool. They loved getting their backpacks on. They were very excited. Man, they looked forward to it every day. But I was heartbroken that they couldn't stay in school. I mean, I knew with the holidays and the winter months that stuff like this is just going to get worse. And so I wasn't surprised. And I had to look at it as we're grateful for the time we got. And we're just crossing our fingers that they'll be able to go back. Their issues with speech, I think, are going to be a few more years before we can get those fixed because they're pretty severe. But by the end of the year, I think they could be ready for kindergarten. I think kids need to be in school, and it's healthier mentally for all of them. The short-term future, I hope spring is at least hybrid minimum. And I hope that in August, we're back. And I don't know if that'll be with the vaccine or not, but have to see, I guess.
Love you guys. Come here. Look, there's the bus. Mwah.
Well, here's an update. It's March 2021, and we're going back to school. Starting on March 22nd, Hudson is able to go back 4 days a week, and Olson, unfortunately, can only go back 2 days a week just because of staffing issues. But by April 6th, Olson will also be able to go back to 4 days a week as well. The boys were so happy to get back into school, and it's just been really great. So lots of changes, and I'm grateful for it. We're cruising along. We're in 1 quarter left. We're going to make this, and it's just a blip. This was just a blip year in a lot of years of our lives. And, we just deal with it. I think the kids are going to be okay.